I was wrong about Ayato. I already made a video about him that you shouldn't believe in Ayato damage numbers when we had his leaks. I wasn't completely wrong, at the same time I wasn't completely right too. So believing in his numbers that turned out to be true, you need good artifact set and good crit rate and crit damage ratio, attack boost to do the damage that we want to do, right? As a main DPS, that is. He can also be used as a sub DPS, but rather, in my opinion, he should be used as a main DPS because he's really insane as a main DPS. I said that he can do more than 300k damage, and I also put that in like on my thumbnail. Only if you have good artifact set with all maxed out talents and the artifact set. Also, I said about constellations for do the much more damage, that is more than 300k. I mean, he cannot actually do damage as Eula's burst or Hutao's burst, like one shot like Zhongli, Raiden, right? But he can do much same amount of damage as them using his elemental skill. I mean, there are characters who does damage more rather than their burst than like their elemental skill, right? There are characters like that, and Ayato is one of them, and I was really shocked by his elemental skill. That just animation was really insane. That's what I said. You shouldn't believe in those looks, right? If you want a main DPS, a good DPS, if you are free to play, that is. If you are a whale, most people doesn't care because they almost have each and every character with maxed out constellations too, and the artifacts too. But for Ayato, someone like me, an average F2P player, you need to have a good crit ratio for him to do that much of damage. I myself have 60 to 150 crit ratio, and with maxed out talents, not his auto attack, that is, we don't need his auto attack at all for that damage. I crowned his skill with C0, and the crit ratio I already told you, artifact set being the gladiator, because those are the only ones that I have perfect artifacts for Ayato. I don't have the new artifacts that we have unlocked in the chasm, nor the heart of theft, because I never farmed for them because I don't have any characters for them. I have Shinshu, but I use Noblesse for Shinshu. So getting to the point is that Ayato is a pretty much good main DPS. But the problem is that you need to have a good crit ratio for that, and also good artifacts with the maxed out talents. It's not a big deal. The talents and the level up, they're not that much of a big deal. What is the main problem is here? The artifacts and the crit ratio. Right now, I have an average crit ratio. With that, I was able to do around like 8 to 12k of damage only with his elemental skill. So if you buff him up with Bennett and Yunjin, you might be able to do more than 16 or 15k per slashes on his elemental skill. As I told you, without any buffs, he does around like 10k of damage. So counting as once you use his elemental skill, you can get around like 15 to 17 slashes. Considering it can be like 170k of damage, right? That is definitely not more than 200 or 300k. So I was right on that part. If you need to have like maxed out talents and good artifact crit ratio to do more than 30k thousand damage with Bennett and Eugene or the character buffs, right? So I was right about that. But what I was wrong about this, his insane damage skill. I wasn't expecting that at all. So I admit that mistake. That is one L for me and also one W for me. So coming to how much actually he can do is, I mean, we have to see a Whales video to understand that. I'm pretty much sure most of you people have already watched the video about like I'm into loose gaming and mostly Tech Tones video and other China players video. Some people who have Ayato with C6 constellations with 100% crit ratio with crit damage being more than 200k, right? So there Ayato does more than 30k per one slash with C6 constellations because god damn it, constellations are pretty much insane. And with Bennett's buffs and Yunjin's buff and other support characters buffs, he does almost around like 50k per slash. Doing that means like more than 300k to 600k damage too, if possible, that is. So that's what I was telling you guys, that you need to invest so much in a character to do that much of damage. I mean, even my Eula cannot cross more than 200k because I haven't invested in her. Her crit ratio is like 50 to 120. So that's how it is. you need to invest more on the characters. Mainly because my minus point is that I don't have a crit rate sword, either Jade Cutter or Ayato signature weapon. That is the reason that I don't have a good crit ratio. If I was able to balance that out, my crit ratio would boost up, and then I'm sure that with adding more crit rate and I can go for the crit damage artifact sets, then my crit ratio would boost up. That means I can do around like 10 to 15k damage without having any buffs at all. Investment is really needed for Ayato, but not that much of an investment. You need only investment if you don't have any good DPS characters, or you have to clear Spiral Abyss 12-3, I mean 12-1 to 12-3 with him, right? Other than that, he's pretty much like broken, man. He can easily finish off all the weekly bosses. After I got him, he's even more good than Eula for me, because my Eula is just average. She doesn't have any good artifacts, and I'm using like an R5 Tombstone Stasible, what do you call that? I don't have any 5-star weapon for her, and crit ratio, that is the worst crit ratio I think I have seen on a Eula character. I'm so like embarrassed of myself. But Ayato is definitely different. Ayato is a game changer even without you have any like good crit ratio. Mine is like 60 to 150, and he does pretty much around like 10 to 15k. So that's how it is. Like, he doesn't need that much of investment. But if you can invest in him, he simply can do like with one slash you can finish off your weekly boss. With one elemental skill slash you can finish off your weekly boss. I mean, like, it much, maybe that's way too much. Not in one slash, maybe 2 to 3 slashes, like 150 to 300k. Weekly bosses should be have around like more, right? I mean, Duvalin is pretty much weaker than all of them, so I think he can be like in one slash, right, with all the perks and all that stuff. So Ayato is pretty much insane. I'm totally wrong about him. If you haven't pulled out for him and waiting for his rerun, definitely it would be worth. And if you already gotten him, go and build him up, because I waited for like a month to build him up, because I didn't want to build him up before I can build up Red Shogun. So that was a like a minus point on for me. That is the reason why I don't have any good artifact set on him. Even if I had, I wouldn't have farmed for him for the Heart of Depth or the new artifact set, because the Gladiators is pretty much fine, man, because I have good artifact pieces of Gladiators and I don't want to waste my artifact farming on like Ayato, because he's pretty much fine for now. I'll go for him when I'll be able to get a crit rate sword, then I'll think about that. But for now, he's fine. I have to go and build up for Rin Shogun, and I'll also make a video about like how much my Ayato does damage. I mean, pretty much it's playing around right here, but I'll make a video another about that, maybe, because now we don't have 2.7 update for like what's happening in China, so I'm able to make videos, maybe. I'm not sure, because there is no content in the game. I'll be making videos like this, but I'm not sure myself. So keep supporting me, because the 80 subscribers at what I have right now, that is the reason why I'm making a video today, because I just saw my subscribers like 79 they were from almost an entire month, more than an entire month, that is. So thank you for whoever is seeing my video right now. Even if you're a non-subscriber, please subscribe. Yeah, please subscribe. That wasn't expected. I was not going to say that right now, but anyway, thank you for the subscribers who have been like supporting me without unsubscribing, even though I'm not making that much of a great content, because I don't have a laptop or a PC to record them in like the PC mode. I can only record in mobile mode, and not during the daytime. I have to record them at the night time and I have to edit them. But I just lost interest in the game because there is no content in the game to make. So that's why now I'm making this video that I wanted to make from a long time. Anyway, thank you for supporting me, and keep supporting me. I'll see you guys in the next video with Red Shogun possibly, or maybe not, only with Ayato. But I don't know, man. I don't know.